Hey everyone, and welcome to our first Common Ground episode of 2023. I'm Mayor Justin Townell. It's my pleasure to welcome you here. We have a packed episode, and the first thing we're going to tackle is everyone's favorite topic, that of snow clearing. From there, we'll move on to our water treatment plant, where we'll talk about our tap water and what it takes to clean it. So stay tuned, and hopefully you'll learn something today.
Hey, my name's Al LaValle, working for the City of Cornwall. We're plowing today. We had a big event last night and the boys were out consistently all night. Now we're maintaining the roads. The snow is continuing to fall, so it's very important to get out there, make sure that the roads are safe for everybody in the city to get to where they want to go. So we'll just jump in and we'll take you for a ride. We'll see how you feel on the seat. You'll get the feeling of having the plows down, experience the real thing working in an event like today. Here on city streets, during the daytime, it's not too bad. It's a little easier at night because there's no traffic. Traffic is your biggest concern, really. So traffic itself, if there are parked cars, you have to adjust for parked cars, lifting your wing or making sure that there's ample room between the plows and the cars. It's very important to be mindful of your surroundings at all times, be aware of the traffic, definitely be a proactive, defensive driver, drive slow. A normal shift, an 8-hour shift would cover about 200 kilometers, and you're salting or treating the road at the same time. This would consist of different areas of the town. There are primary routes, which are basically the bus routes, routes that would be used by emergency vehicles more often. And then there are secondary routes, which are residential routes. They all have to be maintained equally. We have our own city crew maintaining most of the primary routes, and we have contractors hired to do secondary routes. When there's an event like this, plows should have priority on the road. Other vehicles should make way. It's not always that way, so again, you have to be very mindful of traffic in all directions coming from behind. This is a big vehicle. With the wing down, it extends another 10 to 12 feet on the side. Some drivers are aggressive and try to work their way around the plows. It's just not a safe thing to do, and it makes our job a lot harder. The best thing is just to stay behind us. You know, it's the best and the safest route. It's a street freshly plowed for you. All right, so we're going to enter an area where I will be plowing. So I will be putting both plows down the front and the side wing. Here it's all hydraulic, so we have a front arm which lowers the front plow, and the wing itself is a little tricky. You have the front of the wing and then the full side of the wing. On these plows there is a float which you engage, and it now maintains a pressure on the blades so that you're not digging in or not scraping the surface of the streets properly. We take our time, we push back the snowbanks. It's a little hard to see because everything at this point is white. So to pick a spot on the side of the road, indicating the distance to either culverts or ditches or curbs. You feel what you're pushing with the sidearm. When you come up to traffic, you allow them to move away from you so that you have safe passage. So what we're going to do here is do this long bend. I'm going to have to push back the snowbank a good 3 feet or so. So you're going to see the force of the vehicle pushing all of that snow back with the wing. Very interesting to see, and you'll see how much pressure is being applied to be able to move that snowbank. All you need for plowing is your DZ. The city is always looking for candidates, and they will train you. I started plowing 3 years ago. I'm at ease now on the seat. The city has their own website. You can apply through the website or get a hold of anybody in human resources. I believe they are always taking candidates, taking applications, and I strongly recommend anybody who's wanting to take the opportunity with the city. It's a great place.
Hi, I'm Todd Lalone, the Supervisor for Parks and Landscaping with the City of Cornwall. You're probably wondering why I'm here talking about sidewalks. In the wintertime, sidewalks do fall under our realm when it comes to winter. Within the City of Cornwall, we have 9 sidewalk machines. Any given storm, we hope to have 7 out. That's not always necessarily the situation. We do have machines sometimes will go down, but we try to always have a minimum of 6. Within the city, we have 200 plus kilometers of sidewalk, and on average, it takes 1 operator to go through his route between 36 and 42 hours. So again, as people sometimes think that when we put sidewalk machines out, it might be a fast venture to clean them up, not necessarily. And I want to put to rest another myth. People sometimes ask us why we're not lined up with our plow trucks. Well, I think we all know and see that plow trucks go at a higher speed when they're doing our roads, and sidewalks go on average 2 to 5 kilometers an hour. Basically, there's no way to actually sync them together. So as we prep for a storm coming in, we monitor our different weather networks. We also have data that comes into our offices through our computers and so forth, and we are hooked up with a system that keeps us up to date basically on what we're gonna see within a storm from start to finish. From a sidewalk perspective, if we see freezing rain come in, we'll prep by going out and doing some salting ahead of time. And freezing rain is treated differently from snow. As soon as we acknowledge there is freezing rain, we will get our machines out right away. When it comes to snow, a little different. We'll wait for 8 centimeters, then put out our machines as soon as possible at the end of the storm. Sometimes you may see us out earlier, but according to the minimum standards, we have to be out once the storm's done, and we have up to 48 hours to make sure we get our sidewalks completed. And we take our jobs very seriously in regards to making sure our ratepayers and citizens have sidewalks to walk on and walk on safely.
My name is Owen O'Keefe, and I'm the Water Purification Plant Supervisor with the City of Cornwall. So the source water for the City of Cornwall is Lake St. Lawrence, which is adjacent to the R.H. Saunders generating station. From there, water is gravity fed 3.7 kilometers to the water purification plant. Once the raw water arrives at the water purification plant, the first step is screening to remove small debris. The next step is chemical coagulation. Coagulation is a process of bringing dirt particles together, forming a flock. Once the flock reaches a certain size, it sinks to the bottom of the tank where the clean water goes on to the filtration process. So after the filtration process, water is then treated with ultraviolet disinfection, sent to our treated storage tanks, and sodium hypochlorite is added for secondary disinfection. During the treatment process, the water is continuously monitored and tested thoroughly. Some of the main parameters we test for are chlorine residual, turbidity monitoring, and bacteriological testing. The treated water is then pumped via one of 5 high-lift pumps to the homes and businesses throughout the city. A fun fact about the water tower is although it holds 4.5 million liters of water, this water is only stored in the upper bowl. So treated water is pumped from the water purification plant to the upper bowl of the water tower. From there, at this elevation, this adds pressure to our distribution system. For more information on the treatment process, please visit cornwall.ca/drinking water.
Hi, I'm Stephen Romano, manager of the City of Cornwall's Environmental Division. We can all agree on one thing. Water is important to each and every one of us. It's also important that when City of Cornwall's residents turn on their taps, they get clean and safe drinking water. Right now, we only have one way of feeding water to the City of Cornwall, and that is from Lake St. Lawrence, which connects through an intake pipe to the water purification plant. The intake is located on the head wall at the former Cornwall Canal, located next to R.H. Saunders Power Dam, and it relies entirely on gravity to feed raw water to the treatment plant where it's treated to become drinking water. There's only one problem. Our intake pipe is 65 years old. What would happen if this pipe were to break or get clogged with ice? Where would that leave us at the city? Well, if this were to happen, we'd only have about 6 hours of water storage, and after that, there'd be no water available for our schools, for the hospital, for all the stores and residents, and there'd be no fire protection available. It is important that we at the city have a secondary intake. As you can imagine, this is going to be quite a large project, and we estimate it to take about 10 years to build. It takes this duration because there's a few steps we have to take, with the first one being an environmental assessment, which we recently completed. Through the environmental assessment, we determined that preferred sites for the second intake will be closer to the water purification plant at either the former Domtar site or by King Street. The next steps in the project are completing further studies such as geotechnical, archaeological, and natural heritage to find out which site is most suitable. Whichever site's chosen will require a very deep pumping station, approximately 16 meters underground. The need for the deep pumping station is for multiple reasons. First, we want to draw water from the lowest point in the St. Lawrence River to ensure our intake pipe is protected and to protect aquatic plants and species. We also need to ensure there's enough water located in the pump station that when the St. Lawrence River is at its lowest elevation, there is enough water to still feed the plant. Once we determine what the most suitable site is, the next step will be detailed engineering design. From this stage, we'll also look into potential funding from senior levels of government, permits, and approvals. If you're interested in this project or anything else water related, please visit cornwall.ca/water.
Hey everyone, we're at the halfway point of this episode. Hope you're enjoying it so far. There's more to come. Next, we'll be heading over to Transit to look at our new contactless payment system. So stay tuned. If you're really enjoying this episode, please consider sharing with your family and friends and leave a comment below on what you'd like to see in future episodes.
Hey everyone, Ashley here from Cornwall Transit, here to give you some helpful tips on how to use our new contactless payment system. Our new system gives you the option to use a reloadable card. This card can be picked up from the Cornwall Transit office. It needs to be loaded with product by using your used transit account. We can help you create this account, or you can create the account on your own. If you'd like to create the account on your own, please refer to our next video for step-by-step instructions. Now when you board the bus, you have to tap your card on the validator. Once it turns green, then you're free to proceed to your seat. In addition to the reloadable card, we also have preloaded disposable cards that can be picked up at any of our outlets or at the Cornwall Transit office. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call the Cornwall Transit office. We want you to use this new reloadable card with ease and have confidence riding the bus. Remember, Cornwall Transit is the way to go.
Alright, Ashley, I got my own reloadable card for transit, but I'm actually looking to see how I can create my own used transit account so I can fill that card. How do I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can show you on the computer today. And so we're going to go to cornwall.usetransit.com. As you can see, comes up to the Use Transit page. We're going to click the Sign Up button. We're going to populate first name, last name, email, and phone number. And then we're going to scroll over, make sure that our mouse is directly over all the terms, and then go right to the bottom, and then click Accept. Now, as you can see, it says, thank you for registering. Please check your email to activate your account. So what's going to happen here is you're going to get a registration email. It's going to be a welcome to use transit email. And this is going to state that you are who you say you are, and it's going to activate the account so we can create a proper login. So we'll just get you to log into your email and start that process.
Okay.
So you're going to get your welcome email, as you can see right there. This is going to be where you complete your registration. Just click on the button that says complete registration. Excellent. And as you can see, it prompts you to complete. So you've got your name there, make sure everything's correct, first name, last name, phone number. Now you need to create a password. And remember that in the password, it has to contain everything that they're stating. One uppercase, one lowercase, a number, special character, that kind of stuff. Highly recommend writing it down as well, just so you don't forget. Excellent, so now activate account. And then go to the login, so you have to re-log in because now you've created your password, so it's going to get you to log in as a customer. So email and then your new password. Log in. Excellent. Okay, so now that we've logged into the transit account, we need to add your card, and then you can proceed to adding a payment and loading your card monthly by yourself. So if you want to just click Add New Transit Account, you can see that it gives you the option to link an existing smart card. This is what you would do since you have the card, and then you'd add your payment method and you'd be able to move forward on your own.
Oh, wow. Well, that was easy. Well, thank you very much for your help in helping me create this used transit account, Ashley.
No problem at all. If you have any questions, feel free to call our office, or you can email us at transitsupport@cornwall.ca. And just to mention, if you don't already have a Cornwall Transit reloadable card, you can come to the office and we will provide you with one so that you can properly set up your account.
And that's it. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Cornwall Common Ground and learned something about the inner workings of our city. Stay tuned for more episodes coming. And again, if you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with your family and friends, and leave a comment below if there's something you'd like to see in a future episode. We'll see you next time.